My name is Tori and I am passionate about helping people in their 20s and 30s learn how to thrive in life, even if you're sat there now thinking that life has left you behind. You're not alone. Previously in my last video, we talked about the root cause of why we get stuck. Make sure you go back and watch that because it lays the foundation of what we're doing today. Today we will be exploring practical ways, because we're all about being practical here, on how we can help ourselves get unstuck and start moving forward in life again. So let's jump right onto it. One reason that we actually didn't get to explore last week on why our lives can feel stale and stuck is that sometimes we stop growing. We stop learning. My dad always used to remind me all the time, it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how old you get, never ever stop learning. I have seen so many people in their 40s and 50s and 60s think that they've made it in life because they're older and they said that they've learned all they need to. Experience, although very useful, does not always equate to knowledge. You can always grow, you can always learn, you can always evolve and adapt. You can be 120 years old and still learn something new. One of the best ways to get unstuck in life, and many psychologists and life experts agree with this conclusion, is to find something new to learn. Do you know the endless amount of information we have on our phones? You can literally take a course for free nowadays that maybe 10 years ago would have cost hundreds or thousands. There are so many different areas in life to explore. So many new things to learn. And we have access to it all right here, literally at our fingertips. So what is our excuse to not be learning something? Want to learn photography and be an expert? Go on YouTube. Always wanted to know how your brain works? Listen to a neuroscience podcast that's for free. Want to create a successful business on Etsy? Take a course on Skillshare. You might even find a passion that you never knew you had. Learning is a wonderful way to mentally get yourself unstuck. The next way you can get yourself out of the pit that you're in and start moving on is by filling your mind with positive and inspiring media. You have no idea how absolutely 100% of the things you listen to, you watch, and you read have a direct and massive impact on your mind and on your life. I know some of you are probably rolling your eyes at me already, but hear me out. In computer science, I commonly heard a phrase at university called GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. I think they have this in mathematics as well. It means that the quality of the output is directly determined by the quality of the input. Garbage in, garbage out. What are you inputting into your mind and into your life? Let me give you an example. Recently, since moving, and I'm filming literally in a whole new house in a whole new area of the country, I was starting to feel extremely uninspired, like extremely. I was having a huge creative block. And if I'm honest, I was starting to feel like, what's the point of me doing this anymore? And I realized all the media I was consuming, because I was extremely exhausted and going through a flare-up of my chronic illness from having to move, was purely for distraction purposes and entertainment value. I wasn't reading, listening, watching to anything that was inspiring me or challenging me mentally. And that had a very obvious impact on my creative juices. I also was starting to feel extremely negative, stressed out, and a little bit hopeless because I was just not filling my mind with positive and encouraging things. So in an effort to wake my mind up, I started watching videos and listening to podcasts that inspired me and motivated me. Gave me new ideas for videos, gave me new concepts, helped me to change my daily habits that I had gotten into since moving. I cannot tell you how much of an impact that simple change had on my life. It re-energized my mind again. So let me ask you, come closer. What are you listening to right now that's inspiring you in a positive way? Not House of Dragons. What are you taking the time to watch? Another similar way to fighting being stuck in life is paying attention to the people that you have around you. Ooh, no, she didn't. She didn't just say that. Jim Rohn goes further to say, you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose carefully. You can try and fight this point or argue that elderly people used to use this type of phrase because they simply just didn't like your friends. I'm not elderly yet, and I'm not saying you should dump all of your friends. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is pay attention to the voices that you allow into your life on a regular basis. Because those people that you hang out the most with and that speak to you and speak into your life, because those people are going to greatly influence the person you are and the direction that you go in life. The greatest and possibly scariest example of this is marriage. Choosing who you're going to marry is one of the most important, life-shattering decisions you will ever make. Because who your spouse is, who your partner is, will completely direct and change the trajectory of your life. There is no running away from that fact. That's why I'm so against people rushing into marriage until they know for sure that this is the person who they want to walk the rest of their life with. Maybe you are single like me. Then look at who you're hanging out the most with. My mood, my belief in myself, my discipline, my mental health is hugely influenced by the people I chill out with the most, the voices that speak into my life. In the last few years, I realized actually how much negativity I was surrounding myself with. And it started to make me actually really sour and depressed, more so than I was. I was complaining a lot, I was whining, I was giving myself an excuse of why I was stuck in life and why it's okay that I'm stuck because that's the reality. I became more and more a victim of my own circumstances, which was not a good look. So let me ask you again, who are you allowing to speak into your life? Who are your friends? Who do you listen to? Who do you surround yourself with? Maybe that's why you're feeling stuck, honestly. Maybe you're around a bunch of people who are also stuck, but who don't really want to get up off the floor and get out of their comfort zones. And you know what? It's so easy when you're in that position of being stuck and down a pit to pull down your friends to your level. Not to be mean or malicious, but because you don't want to feel alone in this. You want to feel justified in your decisions as to how you got stuck in the first place and why you've actually not gotten yourself up off the floor and moved on. You know, being in that dark pit when you're stuck, if you allow yourself to be down there too long, it starts to become too comfortable to leave. If you want to support the channel, then please make sure that you like this video, hit the subscribe. If you know someone who needs to hear what I'm saying, then make sure you share the link with them. You can also get unstuck today by remembering your why. Why do you do the things that you do? For what purpose do you go to work or wake up early and start working on your business? When we hit a rough patch in life, or maybe things have not happened as quickly and easily as we had planned or hoped, we quickly, as humans, get disillusioned. And some of us can give up right there and then. What is your why? Only you know the true answer to that. You need to get reacquainted again with the vision for your life. Or maybe a dream you've been holding on to or a dream you've had to change. Now, maybe you're like me and the vision that you had for your life or your plan, oh come on, has had to radically change and pivot. And you know what? That's okay. I've had to readjust my why multiple times. I promise you. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to pivot. But ultimately, if I can tell you my why, it's to have a positive impact on people's lives. Encourage people who feel like life has left them behind, give them the tools that they need to get up off the floor and start living their life again and thriving, challenging them to become stronger leaders of their own life. And from a Christian perspective, because you all know, whether you agree or not, that my faith means a lot to me, I personally want to reflect Jesus in everything that I do. Maybe you need to start writing your why out. Maybe you need to put it on a post-it, put it on the wall, put it on your PC screen when you're playing a game. Why don't you put it on the wallpaper of your phone? I know with this new iOS that we have, you can literally change and swap through different wallpapers. Fall in love with your why again. Maybe you don't have a why and you're kind of embarrassed to admit it. That's okay. I would so recommend you prioritizing some time to figuring out what you want in life and who you want to be. Write it down in a journal, write it down on your phone. Ask yourself, what is the end goal here? Is it financial freedom? Is it having an impact on the world? Is it being comfortable? Whatever it is for you, write it down. I want you to do that so you can physically see it. Don't underestimate this simple step of figuring out what your why is. Remind yourself of the vision for your life and who you want to be. Only you know those things. Because you know, if we're gonna be honest, this is all down to you. I can't do this for you. I can't make you be unstuck. Your parents can't help you get unstuck. Your friends can't help you get unstuck and move forward. It's up to you. It's your choice to make. You may not be able to control everything that has happened to you or everything that is going to happen to you, but you can control your response to it. Whatever lands in your hands, do the best with that. Do the best with whatever you have. Thank you for choosing to hang out with me today. I hope you leave feeling both challenged and inspired to get up on your feet again and start to move forward. And I'll see you in the next one.